Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a review show special. Now today, this is the second review show special of the week. On Friday, we did a one-off review show special on Chris Congreave and Gary Jones's new book, Alas, Smith and Jones, which got a great review. And now, 2 days later, we're back with another review show special, and it's another review show special with Chris Congreave, and this one is Safe by Alakazam Magic. This is Chris's latest product. It's been distributed by Alakazam. I know they've been working on this for at least a year, and it's a cracker. I'll tell you right now, this is a really good trick. I remember being shown this by both Gary and Pete many months ago, and being absolutely fooled. Couldn't really follow how it worked at all. I thought it was a gimmick lock. I thought it was a gimmick key. The method was so far out of where I was thinking, it just completely fooled the pants off me. And I've been waiting for this to come out for a long time. A lot of people are talking about it. Chris has been hyping it up on his own channel, obviously, and on his own social media, and so have Alakazam, rightfully so. And so this seemed like the perfect opportunity to do another review show special. So this is the second, don't think this has ever happened before on this channel. This is the second review show special in the space of a week. And I'm going to approach this the same way as I do a review show special. I'm going to do a bit of a conversation with Chris Congreave. We're going to have a chat about the product, where it came from, why it's so good, what he thinks of it, everything. We're going to dive deep into it. And then after that, I'm going to bring it into the studio. We're going to do a full review, and I'm also going to perform it as well. I'm going to actually perform it to Matt, who's never seen this before. So without further ado, let's run the interview with Chris Congreave. With the legend himself, 2 times in 1 week, with entrance music, as I promised. It is Chris Congreave. I know you're a boxing fan. We thought we'd do a bit of Rocky. How you doing, mate?
Oh man, when we said that, we didn't know that we was going to be doing another one within a week, did we?
Well, what's weird is on the one that went out 2 days ago, I was like, what you got coming up soon? And with Alakazam, and you went, I can't tell you anything about it.
No,
I can't mention anything about it. 2 days later, now we're spilling our guts all about it. So it's
it's funny the way the timing worked out. So the live launch with Alakazam happened on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So obviously we can talk about it now and stuff. And that's funny. So Rocky.
You know what? At some point soon, you're just going to have to take this channel over because you're on it more than me.
I appreciate the exposure, mate. I promise I'm not going to expose myself anymore on your channel.
Mate, you can expose yourself on my channel anytime you want to. I'm more than happy about that. Because every time, I mean, you create so much magic. Every time I sit down and do one of these chats with me, you show me another 5 ideas that you've had, and I'm like, I just love magic.
I've just before we sort of started recording, I've just told you another 2 things that I've sort of come up with. So yeah, I'm having a purple patch. What can I tell you?
Yeah, you're on a creative streak at the moment.
Yes,
and I told you this. Go on.
And we talked about doing a joint project.
I would love to do a joint project with you. I really would. A lot of people don't realize this. I'm kind of partially responsible for you getting into magic.
Yeah.
Because when I was working at a joke shop called Green's Joke Stage Shop, and you just came in, and I started doing magic tricks for you, and that's kind of what got your bug bitten.
I just got into magic, but I've been doing it for a little while, and I mean very little while. I had very little knowledge. I went into you were 19 at the time, so how long ago was that, mate?
Friggin' hell. 26 years ago.
Really?
Well, I'm 45. So if I was 19, that would have been...
Do your maths again?
26, 36, 46, yeah. 45, yeah.
Has it been that long?
26
Okay.
plus 19 is 46. I'm 46 years old, so yeah.
So you were 19 years old, and I was whatever. I am older than you are now because I don't know. So I'm 4 years older than you. So I was like 23. Yeah. And Yeah, you were sort of maybe, I don't know, maybe you were 21 or something. I can't remember now. You were quite young anyway, and I just got into it, and you've been doing it for a few years, and yeah, absolutely. You and Mike, of course, we're sort of you know, you were showing me all this stuff, and like I got Royal Road and Expert Card Technique, I think, and like they were way beyond my realms of understanding, really. And you both of you guys were showing me coin magic, card magic. You know, you were pointing me, and yeah, absolutely, 100%. It was you, Mike, and Dave Taylor who really sort of helped me and groomed me in magic.
Well, there you go. You exposed yourself on my channel, and I come and groom you. There you go. But yeah, I think the joint project with you and me would be absolutely amazing. I think
so. Let's do it.
That happening. But I'm telling you right now, I've been aware of this for about 6 months because Pete showed it me, and you showed it me just before Pete showed it me. But you showed me it was slightly different when you showed it.
It was a raw version. I think. Yeah.
And then Pete told me about it, and I'm like, that is amazing. And Pete Nardi told me the story that he bought the rights off you. And then you came in to film something else.
Yeah.
And you showed Harry, and Pete forgot how good it was and got completely fooled, even though he knew the method. And then immediately wanted to like release it because he's like, oh my God, this is, I don't know. If that...
Pete had already bought the rights to it at this point. So Peter bought the rights. He paid for it, and it was going to come out at some point. But I kind of think Pete had sort of he'd forgotten about it, like you say. So I went down there with my prototype and stuff, and I went, "Oh, Pete, I've brought the prototype down." And he sort of, you know, he'd probably deny this, but he sort of went, "Oh yeah, show Harry," you know, show Harry. So like I was in the shop, so I did it for Harry, and Pete stood there and watched it, right? And then somebody else come in and he was like, you know, and I did it again, and he went. And no, sorry, when I was doing it for Harry, that's right. He was going, hang on, what would have happened if you'd done this? And it fooled him. Even though he knew the method and he bought the trick, it fooled him again. So yeah. And then when he'd seen the props that I'd had made for it, because he wanted, so okay, so I'm going to show you the props. Here's the trick. Yeah.
I gotta say, Alakazam have hit it out of the park with the quality of the props on this. Everything, it's gonna look like first of all, the box looks incredible.
Yeah.
But also all of the components that you're about to see are custom designed for this routine. Right. It's not like you know, not that I'm saying anything negative about Jay Sankey, but you always see somebody like Jay Sankey go, he's trying to justify using a straw. It's like, we tried this and this and this, and after 6 months of research, we ended up using a straw. I know that I was there in Alakazam when they were searching for stuff and they were trying to sort, like, this has been custom designed from the ground up.
So this, right? So yeah, I mean, okay. So let's show it first, right? So these things, everybody's familiar with these, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it's a key ring with a key on. Yeah. You wouldn't believe the flipping game I had to try and find. So this comes with 4 different key fobs in different colours. Okay, so I had an absolute mammoth task trying to find 4 in different colours. It was a lot more difficult than you think. So
and aren't they custom designed for Alakazam? Don't they have like the Alakazam logo on them?
That they have the Alakazam logo on them. Hang on, where's the camera? Where are we?
There you go. That's it. Yeah.
Right. So they have got the logo on. These are, you know, standard things that you can buy, but you can't buy them. You know, it's something you can't buy. So that was really. So I showed my original idea was to have these. Okay, Pete saw them, and he was like, "Oh, do you know what? We'll go and we'll get something made, something a little bit different, and blah blah." And I went down there and I showed it to Harry, and when he saw these and how good they were, he was like, "Do you know what? We're going to go all out on this," and that's what he did. It's not Pete, it's Harry who's got these made. Sorry, Pete, but Harry's Yeah, it's true. Harry has gone to town, and basically, not only has he got these made, he's got the inserts made and everything. You know, so these look really, really cool. Okay, these look great. So this is the other part of the trick. So hopefully the guys at home will have seen the trailer by now. But this I had custom made by Gary James, the Scottish magician. He custom made my prototype. But this is the actual one that you're going to get with the trick. Okay, so it's got the again, it's been punched by Alakazam. All right, and the wonderful thing about this trick, right, is you're going to carry this around with you at a gig. Okay, how cool do those props look? So first of all, you've got something that looks like an ID tag or something that you would put somewhere with a padlock on. Okay, it looks like something that you would see normally, right? So you get that first of all. It's a really high quality padlock, so they've done a great job with that. But now you've got 4 sort of really good quality and colourful props. And that's it.
The other thing is it doesn't take up too much pocket space. The
No.
4 fobs can just go into your trouser pocket or your jeans pocket.
The whole thing can go in one pocket.
Yeah, which is just so cool. And it's, I mean, we haven't even discussed this yet. Chris, very quickly synopsisize what the effect is. You don't have to perform it because I'm going to be doing a performance in the review, but if you could just very briefly talk about what it's about.
So it's a banknote type routine, really. So you bring out this first of all, and you give the spectators an opportunity to win some money, and then you say to them, but you know, look, I'm going to influence you if you want to do it that way, in such a way that you're not going to win, and they choose a key for you. Okay, so they give you a key, they make all of the decisions, and they turn the key each time, but you always end up with the money. It's clean. Yeah. It's as clean as that.
To understand, it's not a fake padlock.
No.
It's not like a special padlock that opens one way and not the other way. It's nothing to do with that. It's a very, very, very unique method. It's an instant reset.
Yes.
So that you can immediately put it away and do it again, which is fantastic.
Yes. Yeah.
And the other thing about it is when I was in Alakazam and I saw them putting these together, they're supplying fake 10 and £10 notes and fake,
now 50.
Fake £50 notes and fake $100 bills, I think, isn't it?
And a euro note.
And a large euro note that looked so real. Like when I saw it, I just thought, I saw it in the shop and I thought like Harry had just left tons of £50 notes lying around. I'm like,
the lottery.
Yeah. And he said, oh, they're fake, they're for, they're for safe.
You get everything. You get everything. So you get the leather key fobs, you get the keys, you get the padlock. You get that. This one has got a real tenner in it. Okay, so that's a real £10 note. But you get, as you said, you get a fake £50 note, $100 bill, I think, and the euro. I can't remember what the euro is actually. And you get everything. It's ready to perform out the box, and it's self-working as well.
Yeah, it is, and that's what's killer about it. There's no skill involved. You don't need a table. You can do it in the spectator's hands. You can. This
is the point, right? Okay, so I'm not a salesman. Peter's bought the rights from me. Do you know what I mean? But you could do this in a cabaret routine. You could do it in a parlor show. If you're doing, you could do it walk around with no tables. Where I think it would really stand out is at a banquet table, because you can walk around the table and you can give one person one key. And you know yourself, when you're working a table where there's 10 people or 12 people or wherever it might be, it's 10 or 12 normally, isn't it? At a corporate or a wedding, maybe 8 sometimes. One person's got the white key, one person's got the yellow key, one person's got the red key, one person's got the green key. They choose, they give you one. Do you know what I mean? You stand there, they make all the decisions. It's such a, and it's all, you can do it all up here as well. You know what I mean? It's, it's great. As a working performer, it's a great routine.
And yeah, I mean, the fact that you can involve so many people in it, it's great. And
you can do it with one person, or you can do it with, you can do it in front. Obviously, you can do it in front of 100 people or 500 people or whatever. You can perform it 2-3 people, one person, whatever, really.
And the other thing is, it works over Zoom.
Never done a Zoom show in my life, but yeah,
I know you haven't, but I have. And knowing the method, it works over Zoom really well. I mean, you have to turn the key. That's the negative. But I mean, you can come right close up to the camera and you can turn that key and you can say, look, this is not opening.
Do you know what? That's the thing that I like about it is the spectator. The way I perform it is they make all the decisions and they turn the key. Do you know what I mean? And that's the great thing about it. But yeah, I mean, Zoom, I've never done one. I actually turned a Zoom gig down last week because I'm not set up for it. I haven't rehearsed it. Do you know what? Leave that to the guys who've done it. But this, yeah, absolutely.
And the one other thing I'll say about it, and I'm going to mention this in the review, I get a question on the channel all the time. How do you perform on stage? How do you make that leap to perform cabaret or parlor? And one thing that I always say to people is pick material that you can work in a close-up environments.
Yeah.
You can work, if you're trying to do a trick that you only can do in a cabaret situation, well, the first time you go and do cabaret, you have to do that trick for the first time. But if you've got a trick that will work in close-up but will equally work as well in cabaret, you can work it in a very low-pressure close-up situation. So you make stand-up pub or to a close-up gig or a restaurant or whatever. And then when you get that cabaret show, it's something that you're used to because you've done it a ton. And this is something that will work in stage, parlor, cabaret. I do a lot of kids shows, as you know. I run Non-Stop Kids. I'm telling you, this is that tricky age, 8 to 12-year-olds that most kids entertainers go,
oh. That's a really interesting point you just made there, because I don't do kid shows anymore. I hadn't considered that, but you're quite right. You could do that. Obviously you change it from money, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, mate. Ryland's 9 years old. Oh, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it went dead there. Ryland's 9 years old, and nothing motivates him more than the chance of winning 10 quid. You know what I mean? You could put like free chocolate or something, but I'm talking about specifically that older age of kids. That 9, 10, 11-year-old. A lot of kids entertainers that take the for.
I never did kid shows for that age group, really. I did family shows for and then I would do close up and then a stage sort of game show rather than a magic show. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. It would work for that.
It would. And the presentation I'd use for it. Have you ever seen Steve Bargatby's I Hate Kids?
Yes.
I would use that presentation with it. I've got here a £50 note.
Yeah. But you're not going to win it because I hate kids.
Yeah, you're not going to win it because I hate kids and I know how your little brains work. I'm going to give you a free choice. You're going to feel like you got a free choice. You're going to lose. You're going to sit down. Don't cry. Like that whole thing is just that's my character up the street. And I could see that working so well. Really.
That's horrible. You're awful.
Bad humbug. But yeah, I mean, it would work for kids shows for sure. I've done millions of kids
for
shows.
Older kids. Yeah, I guess it would. Yeah. I can consider. I don't do those kind of gigs anymore. So
you know what? If you wanted to do it for little kids, you put a big thing in there that says free sweets.
Yeah.
And then you go from there into your dubpan routine to make free sweets for all the kids.
Yeah,
I'm giving you kids a chance to win some free sweets in this show. But you know what? I don't like giving away sweets. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a chance to win. And the birthday kid can come up and do it. So the birthday kid looks like a hero that they've got it right. And then you magically make the free sweets that you give out to all the kids or something like that. Whatever.
Maybe.
I reckon it'd work. Kid show. The point is, it's very versatile.
It is versatile, yeah.
So that's amazing. Yeah, it's really good. It's priced very well considering how good the props are. I mean, everything's been made out of custom leather.
This routine has sort of took on a life of its own, if I'm honest with you. When I first came up with it, I came up with it for myself. Do you know what I mean? I was going to perform it myself, and that was it. And then I showed it to people, and they were like, "Oh wow, that's really great," you know. And I filled people with it, and I was like, "Really?" So I showed it to other people. I showed it to Pete, full Pete with it. Do you know what I mean? Pete's been showing loads of people down the shop, and it's kind of gathered momentum from there. You know, when I first came up with it, it's kind of grown. And you said to me the other day, you know, you thought this was going to be like a really sort of something that was going to do really, you know, what did you say? It's like the best thing I've ever came up with, or something like that.
It is the best. I'm telling you right now, I'm kind of ruining the review that I'm going to give this later on, but I've been involved in this in the not involved in it in terms of production, but I've been aware of this ever since you first kind of, or close to where you first went to Alakazam with it. And I think this is the best trick that you've ever released. And that's saying something, because I'm a huge, you know, the lighter I do all the time, Child's Play, you know, I think that that's amazing. There's a lot of stuff that you've done that's absolutely brilliant, but I think you've really just, I've never seen anything as good as this off you. I think it's incredible, genuinely.
Wow. It's not what I thought when I came up with it. That wasn't what I was thinking at all. I don't know. I fluked it, mate. What can I, yeah.
That's brilliant. Now, have you got a supply that people can buy directly from you?
Of course, yeah.
So, is it the same email address that we had go up on Friday?
Yes, it is, yeah. So, Chris Congreave at googlemail.com. If people want to send me the money via PayPal, send me an email and I'll respond to them.
Is it again, Chris?
I'm not. Do you know what? I'm not even sure what the retail is. I'd have to check. I think it's £50.
I think it's about that, isn't it? Yeah.
I'd have to double. I would have to double check.
Well, here's a question for people that have watched the review show special I did on Friday for Smith and Jones.
Yes.
Putting you on the spot right now. If they decide to get both, is there a deal to be done?
There's a deal to be done. Yes.
So if they email you and say, "I want both Safe and Alas Smith and Jones," you'll hook them up with a discount. I
will do the both for. Let me think. So the book's 75, that's 125. So I'll do it for 115 posted. How's that?
That sounds fair to me. That sounds very fair to me. Including postage. That's great.
And do you know what? I've probably shot myself in the foot because that's going to take some posting.
It really is.
Yeah, mind you, having said that, I could probably squeeze the book inside there as well, I guess.
You probably could. That's amazing. Well, you know what, Chris? I'm looking forward to seeing what you've got coming out next, because I said it at the beginning of this little interview, and it's true. You are on a real high at the moment as a creator. A lot of the stuff that you're putting out is just incredible. And people really need to be following what you're putting out, because you're hitting it out of the park. Every single release.
Thank you.
You really are.
I've got quite a few things coming up, actually.
Well, I've just been sent by Pete something that you've got coming out early next year, which begins.
Is it written in the stars?
Yes, that's all I'm saying.
Is that a little teaser?
So he's just sent me that. I mean, that's great as well. We'll have to have a chat about that when that comes out. But yeah, I'm aware of some stuff.
That is great. Honestly, I really love that. Anybody who performs, for especially where there's ladies at a gig or something, you're going to love this. Yeah,
it's killer. It really is killer. So
good.
That's coming out. So that's coming out soon. Huh?
About that at all, because it's not true. But now that I've got that, I've got that coming out. I've got another thing coming out with them, and oh God, what they're called? Peter's new company with Steve.
Ace Magic Studios.
Ace. I've got a project coming out with Ace and Alakazam as well, and a packet trick with Alakazam, which is great. And then I've got some stuff coming out on my own as well. Beyond that, yeah. Wow. And a joint release with you.
Absolutely, man. We're going to make that happen soon.
We haven't even worked on yet.
We just need to sit in a room for a week and we'll work something out.
Well, you did that thing once and you're locked in Room without cards.
Without coins.
Without coins.
Without coins, yeah, because I was known as a coin guy at the beginning of my career, and that's
right.
all I want. So it was a card DVD, so I went with, and it was only afterwards that I realised that Justin Miller, 2 years before, had released a product called Locked in a Room Without Cards. So him and I did exactly the same concept of a title, but in different directions.
So Locked in a Room with a Wolves fan.
Oh my God. Why not? Finish the trilogy. Yes, definitely. We need to make it happen sooner rather than later.
We'll
watch this space, everybody, because I'm sure we'll be ranting and raving about it from the rooftops right here on Magic TV. But
maybe.
Chris, one more time, thank you so much for coming on the
have I got some out music as well?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get some out music for you now. So I'm gonna as it plays into the studio, we're gonna have some outro music for you as well.
Okay.
Brilliant. So here we go. Chris Congrave back with another hit. Let's take you back to the studio for a full review.
So thank you to Chris for once again coming on the channel and finding time to actually do a bit of an interview. I really appreciate it. Took time out of his day, and that meant a lot. And I'll say the same thing to you guys that I said to Chris. This is going to be an honest review. I'm going to tell you this right now. I really do like this. I liked this the first time I saw it, but I am going to be completely 100% honest. So you've watched the interview. What is safe? Well, first of all, it's got amazing packaging, hasn't it? I mean, this packaging is great. It's got to be a big box for all the stuff that you get in there, but this is really nice. This whole thing screams quality from the first second that you get it arrive through the door. So what is it? So in essence, and I'm going to do a performance of this in a minute, but in essence, it's a Just Chance or a bank night style routine. And I've got this set up, obviously, because I'm actually planning on doing this at gigs. So what you have is you have this wallet. And the wallet is set up with a padlock on it. As you can see, this is set up. And they can see in there a £50 note. And you give them a chance to win this. You give them a chance to win it. Now, as I said in the interview with Chris, the first thing I want to point out is that's actually a fake £50 note that they supply for you. And it really does look like a real £50 note. You also get a $100 note, which again looks like a very real $100 note. And you get a €100 as well. So basically, whatever country you're in, pretty much, you've got options there. And then you've got the props, and we'll talk more about this in a second, but these are so well made. These are custom made. They look great. They look like key fobs, but they look quality. And that's literally all you need to go and perform this. You just need these 4 key fobs, this money inside this wallet, and that's it. You just throw this into your pocket and you're good to go anytime, anywhere. I'm going to do a performance of it first of all, so you can see exactly how it plays out. And then once I've done that, I'll talk about what I think. So here it is. This is a performance to Matt. Matt?
Hello.
I have a little wallet here. Mm-hmm. Inside the wallet, there is a £50 note.
It looks real.
It is a real £50 note, and I'm going to give you a chance to win it. Now, you'll notice there's a padlock stopping you from getting to that £50 note. And you'll also notice that I have 4 keys, different coloured fobs. There's a red one, there's a yellow one, there's a green one, and there is a white one. Mm-hmm. One of these keys, Matt, and only one of them opens up the padlock. The other 3 do not open up the padlock. Your job is to try and work out which key opens up the padlock. Now, if my prediction is even slightly wrong, you're going to end up with that £50 note. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you've got 3 chances here, because we're going to have 3 goes at this.
So I've got a 75% chance of winning this.
If that's what you like to believe, then that's what we'll go with.
If I was having this conversation with anybody but you, I'd be getting.
So remember, white, green, red, and yellow. White, green, red, and yellow.
What do you think, Jack?
When I snap my fingers, you're going to pick one up. You sure?
Yes.
You can change your mind if you want it. You want the yellow one?
Yeah.
Go on, try it in the padlock. You got to put it in, and you got to push it in really hard and then turn. Does that work? No?
No.
What a shame. Okay, well, that was your first go. We still have 3. We have the red, we have the green, and we have the white. Let's try this again. When I snap my fingers, you're going to pick up one of the keys. Are you ready?
So why have you folded that one out?
Sorry, that's just me being clumsy. Oh, you want the red one?
Yeah.
You want to change your mind?
I wouldn't have picked up the red one if I were you, but I mean, it's up to you. It's your choice. If you want the red one, that's fine.
I'm going red.
You sure?
No.
You want red?
Yes.
Give it a shot. Oh, what a shame. So we got 2 keys left. We've got a white one and we've got a green one. Think carefully.
Oh, man.
If I get this wrong, Ryland goes without dinner today. So
Ryland can afford his own dinner.
It's true. Right, are you ready? Pick one up.
Ah.
Are you sure?
No.
It's totally your choice. You want to change? You want to change to the green one?
No, I'm not. I'm going with my original thought. I'm sticking with it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Positive?
No, of course I'm not positive. I'm playing a game with you.
Well, you know, if that's your choice and that's the one you're sure with, just
Jack.
I'd stick with it.
Yeah?
Stick with the white.
You owe me 25 quid if this don't work.
I don't know, agree to that.
Oh! Is this one of them stupid things where none of them work?
Well, why don't you try the green one, the one that you left until the very end, the one that you left for me? I gave you 3 chances. I gave you a chance every single way through. I let you change your mind if you wanted to. You didn't change your mind, and that's fine. If you'd got...
Oh, for Christ's sake!
Oh, well, looks like you're you could have won £50.
I don't know why I still get frustrated playing these games with you. I just don't know how you do it.
Okay, so Matt was absolutely blown away by that, and for good reason. You know, I've always loved this style of plot, and I've bought so many different versions of this where you've got like a lock and you've got a key, and they have to decide which key opens up the lock. I've had so many different versions of this, and some of them are good and some of them aren't so good, and the quality very much varies. This is unlike any method I've seen before. First of all, it's a very good lock that you get with it, but it is a regular lock. The keys are regular keys. There's nothing gimmicked about the lock. There's nothing gimmicked about the keys. It is completely ungimmicked. So what you have here is you have, as far as I'm aware, and I've never seen this before, a brand new method for doing this type of trick. Now let's talk about the pros first of all, and to be honest, it's mainly all pros. But first of all, like I said, this fits into your pocket, doesn't take up any pocket space, you just put it in your pocket, you're good to go. It's an instant reset, you put it back inside your pocket and you're good to go again. Whenever you bring money out and you're performing to real people and you give them a chance to win money, that's when they start paying attention. I was doing a military base the other night, and I wish I had this at that military base, because they're the sort of guys where, you know, you give them a chance to win 50 quid, they're immediately going to be invested in what you're doing. This would have gone really well at that gig. So you've got an instant hook there. You've got a real strong hook at the very beginning. Hey, I'm going to give you a chance to win £50. Can you hold on to that for me? And you give it to somebody to hold on to, and you can be so free with these props. It's great. Here's the thing. It's what you just saw with Matt isn't even, in my opinion, it isn't even the best outcome, because there's lots of different ways this trick can go. And the way that it went with Matt is probably the worst way that it can go. And I know there's people that are going to be watching this that have got this that go, I disagree with you. And some people are going to go, I agree with you. And it's down to personal preference, obviously. But I actually prefer when it goes in a different direction. I'm being intentionally vague because I don't want to give away the method at all. But I do want you to know that the way that it went with Matt isn't necessarily the best way. By far, I don't think it's the best way. I love the freedom of choice. You know, there's no equivoque at all. There's no patio forces at all. There's no magician's choice. Nothing like that. You can be so free. Hey, pick up a key. What key would you like? You want that one? Okay, right. This is your first chance. Do you want to try it? Yeah. Okay, that was chance number 1. Do you want to try it? It's very fair. It really is very, very fair. And regardless of the outcome, people are absolutely blown away. They really are. I originally, when I started playing around with this, I thought this would be a really good opener, because I do like the idea of offering people money. It's a great way to kind of pull people into the performance. But I personally think this would make a great closer as well. This would make a fantastic closer. You know, you've done some stuff and you go, well, look, I want to try one more thing for you. I'm going to give you a chance to win £50. I'm really raising the stakes now. I'm going to give you a chance to win £50. Look, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. You hold on to that. And then you go into the routine. I think it's great. There's very little else to say. The props are great. They work just like they're meant to. Everything is examinable, really. Yeah. Everything's pretty. I'm trying to be completely honest here. Is everything examinable? Yes. I suppose it depends on which way you look at it. I personally think that everything is examinable. You could maybe slightly argue that case on occasionally, but I disagree. I think that everything is examinable in this situation. It's an instant reset. You don't need a table. And that's one of the big points to me. This is a great walk-around trick. And as Chris said in the interview, I love the idea of doing this banquet and just giving these keys to different people on the banquet table. That's a really smart idea as well. But yeah, I mean, it's really, really strong. So no table required, visible from a big distance, great hook, instant reset, easy to do. It's completely self-working. It allows you to focus on presentation, and it's very, very baffling. There's nothing to not love about this trick. Everything is well thought out. And like I say, I've never seen this method before. I've seen the principle, but I've never seen the principle applied to the routine that we have here. And I think that's why it fooled me so badly. Because when I saw this, first of all, I was just completely fooled. I had nowhere to go and it didn't make any sense. And it was only when Chris kind of went through it with me and actually kind of talked me through how each phase works and what happens that I kind of went, oh, that's genius thinking. And I was speaking to my friend Nemid Phoenix the other day, because Nemid's seen this as well. and anybody who watches this channel on a regular basis will know how much I respect Nemid. I respect the hell out of him. Fantastic worker. And he said the same as me, that this is Chris Congreave's best trick. I don't know how Chris is going to top this, because this is just so great. And as you would expect from somebody like Chris Congreve, who's a real worker, it's a working routine. You just shove it in your pocket, you're good to go, doesn't take up any pocket space. Throw it in your close-up case when you're done. These props are going to take a real battering. Fantastic, really, really good. The tutorial, I think there's only, I need to talk about the tutorial. Tutorial's great. What I liked on the tutorial, it's about an hour long. And what I really liked is initially Peter Nardi to camera just went through how to set up all of the props and what they do, and went through a very quick start guide as to how the trick worked. So that if you are short on time or you can't be asked to watch the whole tutorial, you can just watch that first 10 minutes and be ready to go immediately. But then you come into the studio with Chris Congreve, and Chris and Pete sit there and they dissect this thing down and they talk about all of the handlings and the nuances and so on and so forth. So the tutorial is great. Everything's great about it. I'm going to give this 100%. You know, I'm going to start doing this. And there are other bank night style routines, because this is kind of like a bank night just chance routine. There's other bank night just chance routines that I do. You know, that I might eventually release myself at some point down the line. And I'm not going to stop doing those because they work in certain situations brilliantly. But what's really great about this is the props make it so visible. Like, you can see this from such a big distance away. Chris is right. You could do this in parlor. You could do this in stage. You could do this in cabaret. It's just a very well thought out routine. So there you go. Really, really like it. It's highly recommended. It's 100%. If you want something that's engaging, that's fun, that's exciting, that you can just throw into your pocket and you're good to go, then I would recommend Safe by Chris Congreve. It gets 100% and it is highly recommended. Well done. Chris is really hitting them out of the park at the moment. Now I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you got one yet? Did you get one on the live launch on Tuesday? Have you tried it out? What do you think? Have you watched the tutorial? If you haven't got one yet, are you considering getting one? I would love to know. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below if you want to see more videos like this. And I'm going to be back on Monday with a shorts at 2 o'clock, a live at 6 o'clock, and at 9 o'clock I'm going to be here with a 5x5. Don't forget that myself and Lloyd will be back on Wednesday with another edition of the Magic Podcast, which is rapidly becoming one of the most popular podcasts in the Magic community. So if you want to see what's all the fuss is about, make sure you subscribe to the Magic Podcast on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts and every other platform that you can listen to a podcast on. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.